Hey y'all, so I'm back at the house now, and instead of shooting this through the YouTube app, I'm shooting it just straight on my phone thing. And you see, my phone gives me this nice little filter and kind of smudges out all the stuff so I don't look like I just woke up. Anyway, so in this video, I'm going to show you really quickly how to do a skirt pattern, or a circle skirt pattern if you want to do that. I love circle skirts. They're easy, and they give you a lot of fullness, a lot of bang for your buck without having to gather all that crazy stuff up. So anyway, I'm gonna show you that real quick, and let's look. I'm gonna change this real quick. Okay, hope you can see past all this shadowing and whatnot. Okay, so we're gonna be making a circle skirt in this video. Let me take a picture, see if it'll do that. Will it do it? Nope. Okay, so drew my little person here just to help illustrate. I got a little rectangle up there, and I have this equation down here. So basically, what we're going to do, or what we're looking for, is a couple different measurements, and then we're going to take this piece of paper, we're going to cut it, and then we're going to use the edge of this table as an example, because what we're going to be making is kind of like a quarter pattern. And when you put all 4 quarters together, it'll give you the whole pattern. And we're just trying to do it really simply. Okay, so this is essentially what we're creating. Okay, and then it'll be a piece of paper that's folded. We'll do this just so you can see that it's folded. Yeah, so we're using a piece of paper that'll be folded 2 times. You know, one way and then also the other way. And then once you cut it and open it, then you'll have a full circle skirt pattern. We'll do this just to show that it is cut open. Okay, so that's kind of what it's going to look like once you finish, and it'll have some fold lines like that. Okay, so anyway, so what we need, you need your waist measurement, or whatever you're going to sew it to. So it could be your waist, you could have it going crooked like this, you could sew it to like a shoulder seam or whatever, but whatever you're sewing it to, we need to know that measurement. So we're going to use the waist here. So we're going to put, let's say, 26 as an example, okay? And then you're going to add 1 inch per seam, because we're doing, at least in this example, we're going to be having a 1/2 inch seam allowances, okay? So in this, because we want ours to look like this, there's just 1 seam here. So 1/2 inch is 1 inch. Okay. Now if you're doing 2 seams, then that's going to be 2 inches. If you're doing 4 seams or whatever, then you know it's 1 inch per seam. So the waist plus 1 inch per seam, and we're only doing 1 seam, so it's only going to be 1 inch. Okay. And then divide that measurement by 4. Okay. So the waist plus 1 inch per seam, so we got 26. We're doing 1 seam, so plus 26 inches plus 1 inch is going to equal 27 divided by 4. Okay. Now, give me 2 seconds. Let me do some math. Okay, so I did my math. 27 divided by 4 equals 6.75 inches. Sorry, I moved the thing. So that's going to be 6 3/4 inches, okay? So that needs to be how wide we're going to make this part, okay? So this part that's going to attach to the waist is going to be, and I know it looks odd because I have this side longer and that side not as long, but just bear with me here. This is going to be, 6 3/4 up here, or 6.75, however it's easiest for you to understand that. And then this is going to be the length of the skirt. So we'll say 22 inches, okay? So and that length is going to be from, in this example, from the waist down, okay? We're going to do 22 inches, okay? So our quarter pattern is going to be this. So the seam's already factored into it. The only other thing we have to make sure that's factored into it is this seam up here. We already have these seams that are going to connect the 2 1/2 inch seams, okay? Factored in the overall pattern. We just have to make sure that's factored in there. So this is actually going to be, and then the hem. So if we do, let's say, a 1/2 inch hem, and then this up here is a 1/2 inch seam. Then we know there's an extra inch in there, so this skirt is actually only going to be 21 inches long when we finish it. Okay, but for the sake of the pattern, because you know the pattern has to have all that worked into it, it's going to be 22 inches. Okay, now, so what we're going to do here, we're going to assume that this is what we need it to be, and we're going to assume that this, just for the sake of just doing an example that's easy to look at, okay? So let me put this on a tripod. Give me just a second. Okay, so once you've got all your numbers figured out, you know how wide the waist or the chopped down waist is supposed to be for this example, because remember it's only going to be a quarter of what you actually need. Once you figured out what that's going to be, you figured out what the length is going to be, you've made sure that you made room for the 1/2 inch seam you're using up here, and then just a 1/2 inch hem that you're doing at the bottom. And then now you have, we're going to make just a rectangle out of that, okay? Then, let's say this is our waist seam. Let's say this is our side. We're just going to say side because it may or may not end up being one of the side seams, but that's just so we don't get confused. Okay, and we're going to take this and we're going to cut it into 4 sections, and then we're going to spread. So we're going to do the slash and spread pattern making technique. And I'm folding it like this just so they can be kind of even. You can, if you want, you can fold it and make more seams if you want. The more you make, the more cuts you make, the smoother this will be. Because originally I thought of doing 3 sections, and then I was like, well, that might not be as smooth as I need it to be. And then we're going to pretend this is our new piece of paper, okay? We're going to pretend this is our new piece of paper. This is the corner of the paper, right? So we're going to take this and we're going to try to spread it as evenly as possible. And then we're going to put this along one edge, and we're going to put this along the other edge, okay? We're going to try to get it as perfect as possible. And then we're going to take our tape and we're going to tape it down. Now, is it going to be absolutely 100% as perfect as it could have been if you did the other technique that they teach in that pattern making book that I'm always showing you? That technique they teach you to, we'll pretend this is a long tape measure. They say take a tape measure, right? You're going to take a push pin and you're going to put it in the corner up here of a piece of paper. And then with some measurements that they show you, you're going to, once you factor in whatever they're telling you, it's going to tell you how far down to make the waist, and then the length of the skirt is the rest of the measurement. So, and then it's basically telling you you're going to put a pencil in this hole here, and then you're going to use that to help you draw the waist of the skirt, right? And can that work? Yes. If you want it to be absolutely perfect, would that technique be better? Maybe. This technique should work just as well. I don't see anything wrong with this technique. But we're going to continue with this because this one would be a lot simpler if you don't have that pattern making book and you still want to make a circle skirt and you can't think of how you're going to get it done. So anyway, what you're going to do, you're going to go through and you're going to kind of draw or sketch in this hem as best you can to kind of fill in the little blank spaces, right? And then you're also going to come through and you're going to trace this part. And then once you have that done, you should have something like this. like I was saying. Okay, and let me actually do this. I'm going to show you an example, just like this. We'll fold this once, we'll fold it twice, so we're folding it 2 times. Okay, we're going to pretend this is our bigger piece of paper, right? And we're going to do this. We're going to pretend that we already did this step. So this is what you should end up with. And then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut it out of the paper. Okay, and so that gives you this nice little quarter panel, and then when you open it up, you have a full skirt. Okay, now looking at what just happened here, I see that it didn't cut open, so we can always just take some scissors, if I can see the seam good. We can take some scissors and just cut one of these open, and there you go. So now when you go to sew it, you're just going to come here and sew your 1/2-inch seam and bloop. Now your skirt is sewn together. Now of course you can go back and you can add a zipper there so that you can actually get in the skirt. That's important. Or maybe this is going to attach to a bodice or something. Maybe this will be your center back seam, and you have the center back of the bodice is also going to be open for some type of closure. Then you can just sew this right to the bodice waist seam and then leave this open, so now your skirt is pretty much done. Excuse me. And really that's about it, y'all. So hopefully that technique made sense. Please leave me some comments and let me know if that helped you out at all.